Hi, friends, and happy Tuesday. We are on day 2 of the challenge, and I have so enjoyed seeing your beautiful decluttered home screens. Let me make sure this is going live. Are we live? I think we're live. So if you're watching the replay, please say hey. Let me know where in the world or where in the United States or wherever you're at, where you're tuning in from. I would love to hear it. But today we're talking all about your strategic phone time plan. It goes in 3 parts, and you can make sure you watch the training video when you register at annafriends.com/sellwithyourself. So if you're not registered yet for the challenge, know that it's definitely not too late to do that. You can register and then catch up on yesterday's, which is the 10-minute phone declutter. But if you did the 10-minute phone declutter and you are ready for day 2, let me know with a hey below. I would love to hear it. So this is an important part, right? The decluttering is certainly important, but now we're going to get clear on some strategy on what are those actual actions you take to make money with your cell phone. Hi, Amanda. So good to see you on here. We are live. Yes, I love it. Please say hey to me if you're joining me. I love to chat with you and hang out with you, and let's just jam. I have a feeling this is going to be a really good session. I just had some things on my heart that in addition to talking about money making phone actions, that I just kind of want to share with you today that I felt like was a message for you. And so if you're watching this, know that it's not a mistake, right? You're here on purpose. So if you did yesterday's 10-minute phone declutter, let me know with a yes in the comments. If you didn't, again, it's not too late to go and do that phone declutter, but that's a super important step. Today's step is to get clear on 3 parts of your strategic phone plan. If you already did that, let me know with a yes. And if you didn't, that's okay. We're going to go over it here live too. So kind of the 3 parts of your strategic phone plan. And I hope that this is really helpful for you. Okay. Oh, good. Amanda says, I haven't decluttered yet because I don't know where to start. Letting go is hard. Thank you so much for saying this. So if you guys got stuck on any part of yesterday's challenge, which was to declutter, let me know, right? Because probably there are some other people that are stuck with that too. So Amanda, can you let me know specifically what part of the decluttering or what part of letting go of apps is hard? I'm assuming that you mean like deleting stuff, right? And so I can answer that, but if it's something else, let me know. So how I approach life in general and my phone. And you guys, I know this may sound extreme, but how I see business in general, let's say you have like 4 different offers you could offer in your business, 4 different freebies, right? Same thing as if you have 4 different phone apps on your phone. A lot of times for me at the start of my business, when it came to making some business decisions to pare things down, I had a fear of what if I pick the wrong niche and waste time, right? What if I do the wrong thing? So maybe for you, Amanda, it's like, what if I delete these apps and then, I need them later? I want to tell you something that's true about business that I wish someone would have told me a long time ago. And that is almost nothing in business is irreversible. Right? Same thing with your phone. You delete an app, you can add it back on later, right? Let's say you are choosing let's say you're like me, you're an ENFP and you have a lot of ideas and you have several different businesses to choose from, right? You know that in order to be effective and to make massive money, you have to really focus on one business at a time, really monetizing one business at a time, right? But what I want to tell you is just because you go all in on one thing doesn't mean you can't pick the other things later. Right? There's nothing to say, Amanda, that you can't delete the apps, right? Oh, Amanda says, I'm a person who has a 2-year-old messages on my phone, and I probably had the same ringtones for 10 years. So I'm sentimental too. So I guess this is kind of a different topic, but I think that really applies to, let me finish this thought about business, right? Who here has something in their business that they're having a hard time picking between? Maybe it's a niche, maybe it's an offer, right? Let me know below. Oh, hey, Lacey. Yes, Lacey says, so afraid of picking the wrong niche. I really struggled with this in my business. And I think it just remembering, make your best guess, go all in, get some data, right? Because I was really afraid to niche in my business because I didn't want to pick the wrong thing and waste time. So what did I do? I wasted a lot of time not niching and not knowing, right? Instead of taking action, you guys know I'm a huge believer of being visible in one direction for 6 weeks, right? And once you make that decision on this is the offer I'm getting visible with, this is the offer that I'm trying to sell out, right? This is the message that I'm talking about. This is the content I'm going to produce, right? Really going in one direction for 6 weeks, making that decision one time. And sometimes we need help to make that decision. Honestly, that's the part of my my business where I hired a coach because I was like, okay, if I'm going to go all in my business for 90 days, I don't want to pick the wrong thing. Like, I don't want to. And so sometimes it's okay to get a coach in your corner to make that strategic decision, right? But once you've made that decision, you've got to stay rooted in that decision so that you have data, right? Again, I think 6 weeks is a beautiful period. If you're really going all in on trying to hit high income months with your business, I really feel like 6 months, don't punch me, is really that beautiful window. And that's why Sell with Heart is 6 months. Shout out, we start in January if you want to join us. Enrollment starts at the end of this week. But I really feel like 6 months is that time period with sales where you can actually fully assess what worked, what didn't work, what really sold for high ticket and what didn't, right? Same thing with visibility. If you're working right now on being consistently visible, my recommendation for you is deciding for 6 weeks. I'm going to be visible for 6 weeks with one thing in one direction. If you're working on selling something in your business, I would really recommend, again, you take time to assess, but then you go all in for 6 months. That's going to give you the data. That's what's going to give you the cash. That's what's going to give you the momentum. Okay. Okay. So what were we saying? Okay. So Amanda says, so just on a separate note, when it comes to decluttering, Amanda, I'm a huge sentimental person too. And actually what I do with my voicemails, did you know, this is kind of a fun sidetrack thing that has nothing to do with business, but did you know with voicemails, you can actually email voicemails to yourself as like a audio and save it. So I have my late uncle, probably cried, I don't know, I'm so emotional this week, passed away from cancer a few years ago, and he left me some really sweet voice memos, some voicemails. So I cleared them off my phone, but you bet I saved those sweet little voicemails to my Google Drive, right? So I think, Amanda, if there's anything that feels sentimental, messages, you can screenshot messages, right? Save what you need to, but then clear it out, make space. Is anyone else send themselves sentimental voicemails? Does anyone even leave voicemails anymore? Also, I just have to give a shout out. One of my best friends from college, Jessica, is such a sweet friend, and she leaves me voicemails. You guys, I feel like it's like we need to bring back voicemails. You guys know on Fridays, I make you send like a text of gratitude to someone. I think what I'm gonna have you guys do this Friday, what if we do voicemails? Would you guys actually do that? I haven't left a voicemail in a long time, but I think there's something special and powerful about like using our words. Okay, if I challenge you to do that, would you guys do that with me on Friday? Would you leave a voicemail? Thank you for inspiring that. Hi, Carrie. Happy Tuesday. So fun to see you on here. Okay, beautiful. Lacey saves things forever. Okay, Megan says, I have so much trouble deciding on the offer, right? The 6-week time frame is so helpful, right? Especially if you are working on getting visible, right? In one direction, it's 6 weeks. That's why my visibility program is 6 weeks long, right? With sales, I really recommend you committing to, if you're working on hitting, like let's say you have a goal on, I want to start creating 5K months, or I want to start creating 10K months in my business. I really recommend you commit to going at it for 6 months, which may feel like a long time, but I feel like that's the time you need to really see consistent results and traction, right? So that's really the time frame that I recommend. Yay, Megan's gonna leave a voicemail with me. Oh, Lacey says I leave voice note memos via text. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's a great idea, because some people might be afraid to leave a voicemail because then they're like, what if the person answered? I guess we could just thank them in person, right? Emily says voice notes are my fave. Okay, great. That's a great idea. So on Friday, we'll not just do like a thank you text, but we'll do voice notes. Lacey says things are overdue, right? I'm just like sentimental. It is. Okay, Amanda, does that help with your phone declutter as you're thinking about doing that? If anyone else got stuck on day one with the phone declutter, drop all your questions for me. Okay, so let's dive into part 2. Did you guys do part 2 yet? Part 2, I want you to get out a piece of paper, and I want you to write down these 3 things for your business, because I can give you tips and strategies. I can let you know what's worked for me. But at the end of the day, your business is unique, and I want you to craft a business that really honors you, that honors your personality, right? Same thing when I teach you how to sell. I want you to sell in a way that fits with your personality. A lot of times it does end up being the strategies and tactics that work for me because we're kind of aligned, you know what I mean? But not always. And so I'm always mindful when I work with my clients to really look at what's your personality, right? What's your business model? What works for you? And so that's why here on day 2, I do want you to create money-making phone actions with me, but they may be different than mine. Okay. So again, part 1 is money-making phone actions. Part 2 is life-giving phone actions. And then part 3 is energy-giving boundaries. And I'm not going to say I'm an expert at this, but I kind of know a thing or two when it comes to protecting your energy around your cell phone. I'm definitely not perfect, but the tips I have here, if you guys haven't watched the training for today, make sure that you catch that, especially the energy-giving boundaries part, because I just feel like I've learned some hacks when it comes to having good boundaries with my phone that I wish I would have known 4 years ago, honestly. And I'm all about mindset work, but these are just some like really practical little hacks. I'm all about a hack. I'm all about a coupon. I'm all about a shortcut, right? And in business success in general, there aren't really any shortcuts, but in phone boundaries, there are sure some shortcuts. So I'm going to share them with you, and I did in today's video. Okay, beautiful. Amanda said, I was about to say, what if they answer? Well, then we could always just talk to them, right? And be like, thank you. Okay, my loves. Okay, so let's talk first about money-making phone actions. And as I'm saying some examples, I want for you to literally write in the chat box and own what some of your money-making phone actions are. And they might be different in different seasons of your business, but just really getting clear on what they are. Okay, here's some examples. I put writing a sales post for social media or your email list. Spoiler alert, we might be doing that together tomorrow. You may be writing a piece of sales content to post in your Facebook group to send to your email list tomorrow, because what is this challenge about? I want to inspire you, but I actually want you to do some sales action while you're here with me. Number 1, because when the resistance comes up, I can coach you around it, right? Like kind of like Amanda said, I'm feeling stuck on day 1, right? It's not until you start taking the action that the mindset work comes up. And so I want you to be doing some of that. So tomorrow you're actually going to write a sales post. I'm going to give you a prompt for that, and you're going to share it with me in the group, but you're also going to ideally send it to your audience, right? Because how this challenge is going to help you make money is if you actually take sales action during this week with us right now in the challenge, right? Yes, I want you to learn. I also want you to take action so that you can make money from this challenge. Okay, so that's an example of taking a money-making action, is writing a sales post on social media, or sending something to your email list where you're promoting either your offer or your step before the offer. Someone asked me a really good question this week, and it was, okay, so Anna, I told them a little bit about what's coming tomorrow, the sales post, and they're like, okay, so am I selling my offer or am I selling my free thing before the offer, right? And in general, I really recommend you talk about your paid work, but you also share with them the step before, right? If it is a call, you're mostly selling someone on the importance of getting on a clarity call with you, right? Okay, so one example of money-making action, writing a sales post for social media. Ideally, you can share a picture of you with it, right? Or something where people can connect with you. On Thursday, should I tell you what we're going to be doing on Thursday? I don't want to intimidate you. I just want to have you go step by step. But on Thursday, I'm going to have you go live right here in the Facebook group. I can't believe I told you. I want to give you a little bit of heads up, right? Don't worry about it yet, but I want to let you know that's coming. And I'm going to have you do a 2 to 5 minute Facebook Live in the group. Again, because you joined this challenge so that you could sell with her to make money. So if you want to make money, can you trust me to take some action to make that happen? So one of the things I'm going to have you do on Thursday is show your face, either with a selfie or by doing a Facebook Live, so that you can, I'm going to do like a little prompt on what you'll be going live on, but you can also share, hey, if this training was helpful for you and you want to connect with me, here's how. So that's another way. It's another money-making action you can literally, Lazy's like, what? Yes, don't worry about it. Like, just keep it in the back of your head, but don't overly plan for it. Let me know if you have never gone live on social media before. Give me a yes in the comments. If you have and you're a pro, I still want you to do this because we can always get better at selling on live, right? If you've never gone live before, would you let me know with like never? I've never done that, right? And I'm just curious, but I feel like, can you trust me? Number 1, do you want to make money? If so, I need you to take some brave action, right? Not just like scattered brave action, but in a way that I'm telling you to do it. Can you trust me in that, right? Emily says, I'm so excited and scared. So don't overthink it. I'm going to give you the prompt, and really I'm going to baby step you through it, right? So today, make sure you do today's. Tomorrow, you're just writing a post. And then on Thursday, you're going to go live based on that post. So it won't be random. You'll have already thought it out, right? And so you're going to be writing a post based on my prompt tomorrow. And then with that, you're going to go live on Thursday. Okay, beautiful. It's going to be Lacey's first time going live. Beautiful. Can't wait to cheer you on. Emily went live for the first time after the coaching call. Congrats, Emily. That's so exciting. So you're already basically a pro, right? Amanda's done lives in her group, but this may be the first time you're going live in someone else's group. So excited. I'm so excited to cheer you on, and you guys aren't going to be alone, right? Emily, Lacey, Amanda, you guys aren't going to be alone in doing this, but I'm so excited to watch you do this. And I give you tips too. I'm going to give you tips and training and share with you exactly how to do that. But I just want to let you know that that's ahead so that you can really embrace today's and tomorrow's actions so that going live on Thursday in the group becomes that much easier, right? Okay. Amanda says I actually do better at live than trying to record a video. I think it's powerful. I really, really do. And just honestly, I'm excited to see your beautiful faces live here in the group, right? And I think like if you have any resistance to doing that, going live in the group on Thursday, really ask yourself, do I want to make money? Why did I join the Sell With Your Sell challenge? Probably because you want to learn to sell with heart, right? And so if that's true, trust me and start taking some of that brave action in a really supported way. And you know, I guard this group. Hi, Maria. Yes, recording gives me a chance. Exactly, Amanda. Recording it, sometimes you overthink it, right? And what was I going to say? I want to give you the opportunity to do it in a supported space because you know I guard this group with a fierceness. And so a lot of times people have a fear to go live because they're like, what if I go live and someone like does a mean comment? Or what if I sound silly? You know that I'm protective of this group. I'm not afraid to block or delete. But to be honest, like in the 4 years I've had this group, I've like rarely had to do that. So you really have nothing to be afraid of, right? And just trust that this is a great, safe, supported space, whether you've never gone live before or whether you're a live pro, you're going live with me on Thursday and you're working on selling, right? You're going to sell your thing. There are, number one, it's a great time to practice. Number two, there are people in this group that probably can benefit from what you have to offer, right? Okay, if you want to commit with me, I know you don't know the prompt yet for Thursday, but if you want to commit to going live on Thursday in the group, no matter how scary, no matter how hard, no matter how impossible it seems, would you just give me a yes? Yes, I'm going live. Can you own it? Can you make that decision now? Knowing that I'm going to equip you with the right training for that. Really own it. Can you own it? I would love that. Okay, so again, these are some of the sales actions. Writing a sales post, going live. Here's some other sales actions, right, that we're not necessarily going to be doing in the challenge, but I think it's still important for you to know, for you and your business, what are the money-making phone actions I take? And honestly, for me, because I'm a mama to littles, how I make a lot of money in a few hours a day is most of the time I spend in my business, I'm taking money-making action. Don't have a lot of time for everything else. So if you're a busy mama, I do not want to hear any excuses about, I don't have enough time. Because honestly, I think it's your superpower if you don't have a lot of time because it makes you take that action in a way that's more effective, right? Okay, here's some other actions we're not going to be doing in the challenge, but are effective, right? Setting a timer and engaging on social media with potential clients, whether they're people that are warm leads to you or current pre-clients. We're not going to be doing that in the challenge. That's more of like a visibility thing, but it's really important. And that's definitely a money-making action. Not when you're just like scrolling on social media, but when you set a timer and you're like, you know what, for 30 minutes, I'm going to encourage people on social media, right? For 30 minutes, I'm going to like give life and comments and love to other people's photos in Anna's Facebook group or on another thread, right? That is definitely a money-making action, being visible and engaging in that way, right? And if you guys have been in Visible Impact with me, you know that I really believe in the power of, not only doing your content in advance, but doing your 30-minute chunk of engagement and connection. That doesn't mean you're online all day. It just means for the time you are online, you're busting your booty and you're connecting and engaging and you're encouraging, right? Usually it is to be done from your computer and not laying down in your bed on your phone, okay? Just have to be honest with you, right? If you want to make more money in less time, like this is how it's done, right? And I think a lot of people come to me and they're like, Anna, I'm feeling burned out. I'm spending a lot of time online, but I'm not like hitting 3, 5, 7K months. it's really not, I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's really not about, spending more time, but just being more intentional with the time that you have, right? Megan says, sounds like so much fun. Carla says, is that the Facebook Live? Megan, that sounds like fun. I love that. Carla says, as long as it can be early in the day. Yeah, anytime on Thursday, Carla. You're welcome to go live. And I have a little prompt for you on Thursday too. So anytime that day, I can't wait to see your faces. I can't wait to see you selling. And you're not going to be alone in it, right? It's just a lot of other women that are practicing that skill. So good. Maria says, love this, right? I just have to be honest with you, okay? It's like, and think about it, like I'm having you go live for 5 minutes on Thursday, right? Even if you unplug the whole rest of the day, probably it would be more effective for going live, prepping for 20 minutes, going live for 5 minutes, than if you just aimlessly scrolled for the rest of the day. You know what I mean? And so it's really about nailing your money-making actions, and actually doing them is so important. So that's your job this week or today, is to get clear on part 1, money-making actions. Next, we're going to go to part 2 and part 3. But make sure you write those down. And again, they may be different for your business and in different seasons, like when I only did one-on-one clients versus now that I also do one-on-one in launches, my money-making actions are different, right? And so just be clear for you and your business what those money-making actions are. Take some time to think through it. I promise it is very rewarding. Okay, next, what I want you to get clear on, what are your life-giving phone actions? Because I think we forget, right? We get stuck scrolling and we forget that I have these money-making phone actions, but I also have these things on my phone that I love to do that give me life. I'm going to share some of mine with you, and feel free to pop them in if you guys have any ideas. One of my favorite things to do if I want to spend some time on my phone, I already did my money-making phone actions for the day for my business, is reading a book. And did you guys know that you can read books for free with your library card with the Libby app? Please tell me you guys already know this. If not, you need to download the Libby app ASAP. It also has children's books. So if you are a member of your local library, you just attach your library card and you can get free audiobooks, free regular books, and free children's books. And it's incredible. I just was on hold for Atomic Habits, and the audiobook just came up today to be able to be read. And so one of my favorite things to do, if it's not my business time and you guys know I delete my social media apps when I'm not using them. If I want to be on my phone, I read a book. Right? So Libby app, I love. Another app that if you don't have it downloaded, you have to download it today is the Up App Affirmations. It's a game changer. It sounds crazy, but what it is it's you saying your own affirmations of what you want to be true for you, what you want to step into, what you want to embody. And then you listen to it back. You listen to yourself doing that. How often do we spend hours and hours listening to other people's podcasts, which I love a podcast, right? But how often do we forget to speak truth over ourselves, right? And if you're feeling wonky or if you're feeling discouraged, don't go listen to other people's content. Reroute into what you know is true about you as a competent business owner. And one of my favorite ways to do that is with the Up app. It is a paid app, but I think it's worth every single penny. But I think they have a free version too. Libby app, Up app. I love practicing Spanish or playing music on Spotify. I'm a huge Spotify junkie. I love listening to podcasts, boxing with friends. I am obsessed with the Google Photos app. Anyone else? And so get clear for you on, okay, these are my money-making things, but what are the things I like to do on my phone that are fun and give me joy? Let me know in the comments what some of those things are, because maybe there's some apps that we don't know about that you love. But I think it's important too, that way we remember. Sometimes I get bitter and resentful at my phone, but it's just remembering our phone is powerful too, and there are fun things we can do on it. And I think when we have fun on our phone in a very intentional way, that way when we sell or do our money-making actions, we feel more lit up around it, right? We feel more encouraged and excited. Okay, Maria says it doesn't matter what time on Thursday after you give us the prompts. Yes, exactly. So basically what's going to be, Maria, is tomorrow, the challenge assignment is to write a selling social post, and that's going to be your story timeline. And if you've never done that before, don't worry, I'll walk you through it step by step. And then on Thursday, I want you to share a little bit of your story with us live. So you're going to write the post tomorrow, your story timeline, which is, by the way, if you haven't written out your story timeline recently, Not only is it a great sales post for social media, but it's actually a part of a compelling core offer. So that can be a great piece of content that you can put on your website, or if you do a sales PDF like me, on your sales PDF. And I know that writing your story timeline takes courage, especially if you haven't refreshed it lately. Maybe your story is a few years old. Tomorrow is the day when we're going to sit and I'm going to coach you through writing your timeline story. And I know it's audacious for a free challenge, but I know you're up for it. And here's your job. If you get stuck in any part of writing your timeline story, ask me, because I promise you, on the other side of creating that asset for your business, not only is that going to be a great email for your list next week, not only is that going to be a compelling piece of written content, but again, it's part 2 of the 7 parts of a compelling core offer. And so you'll also be able to use that for your website, for whatever you're selling. And so I really feel like it's a piece of versatile content that you're going to write tomorrow. And then Thursday, you're just going to pick a part of that and you're going to go live. Part of your story timeline, you're going to share a piece of that with us. And then you're going to invite us to your paid offer, right? Because we know that story is one of the best selling tools, right? So I know that it's going to take time and energy, and there's going to be so many blocks to you writing your story and owning your wins, even if you feel like you haven't arrived yet, right? But we're going to talk about that tomorrow, bragging in your business, even when you don't feel like you've arrived yet. Write that post, create that. I promise you, that's going to be an asset for your business that you'll be able to use again for content, for your website, for all the places. And then on Thursday, we're going to take a part of that captivating story. You're going to share that story with us on Facebook Live. And then at the end of telling that story, you're going to be like, and if that resonated with you, I would love to invite you to XYZ, your paid offer, right? I have a little script for that. So I'm going to walk you through it. But I just want to tell you the importance of doing tomorrow's assignment so that Thursday, the live is going to be like easy and magnetic, right? Or even if it's messy and imperfect, we're going to cheer you on anyway, because maybe it's your first Facebook Live, right? Okay. Let's see. Maria says, speak back into yourself. It's so true. Tracy's a Spotify junkie. Tracy, I'm so a Spotify junkie too. You've got to share your favorite playlist with me. I have like so many favorite playlists. My favorite one recently is, let me look up the name of it. I have just been obsessed with it. It's called, where did it go? It's like acoustic favorites. Do you guys follow that one? It's incredible, peaceful acoustic music. I love Spotify, right? And I think sometimes we forget, oh yeah, there are these things on my phone that I can do that bring me life. And I think when we're clear on that and we don't have social media as a distraction, our phone actually can be this tool that like builds us up and gives us life. Tracy uses Insight Timer. I have heard so many good things about it, but I haven't used it yet. It's a meditation app. Thank you for the recommendation. Carla loves Think Up. It's amazing. So yes, drop your favorite ways. And really, this is so good for you to know and own. You know, once I've done my, business money-making things with my phone, if I want to do something fun on my own phone, and for me, since I have kids, right? Like when my kids go to bed, I'm like, I do kind of want to spend 30 minutes on my phone, but I want it to be something that fuels me and doesn't leave me going to bed really pissed at the world. Because I guarantee you, if I'm on Facebook 30 minutes before I go to bed, something that someone said is going to upset me. And it's just like, it's not a good cycle, right? So really getting clear on and really own in the comments, the thing I do, you can even write this sentence, the thing I do on my phone, you're in charge of your phone. You're the boss of your phone, right? The thing I do on my phone that brings me life as a woman, as an influencer, right, is whatever. Fill in the blank and own it. Whatever it is for you. Okay, so that's part 2. So you've gotten clear on your money making phone actions, your life giving phone actions. Oh, Tracy says lo-fi beats. That just sounds good. I'm going to go add that after right now. Is there a way that you could friend people on Spotify, by the way? I haven't figured that out. But I love Spotify. I really do. Just powerful to have music like that. Okay, so I look pretty from the waist up. So Maria, by the way, is the mastermind genius behind. I'll have to share it with you guys. I've been working with Maria on my wardrobe. And so all the pieces are still coming, but once they all come, you guys, I'm a little bit scared, but what we're going to do is we're going to do a Facebook Live and we're going to share with you some of the outfits. I love your waist. Look, I know Maria probably don't quite approve, but these earrings were inspired by Maria. And I've been working on my appearance, and it's been really, really encouraging and empowering. So thank you, Maria. And stay tuned and follow Maria if you want to see the behind the scenes of her work, because I'm going to be doing a live with her. Okay. So number 3 is energy giving phone boundaries. And I say this for last because this is like kind of a harder conversation, but I just feel like it's some real talk that we need to do, right? Person to person. It's important that you get clear on your money-making actions. It's important that you get clear on your life-giving phone actions, but we need to talk about energy-giving boundaries. Many of you know my story, struggle with codependency, right? And I really had to release codependency and start building self-trust and start having good boundaries, not just with other humans in my life, but with myself. Boundaries start with us. Self-trust starts with us. Who needs to hear this message today? Okay? It's so important that you are showing up the very best for yourself. And so much of that is energy giving phone boundaries. Okay, here's what I had to say about it. This is one has the biggest potential payoff for how you feel and the results you see in your energy levels, with your client work, in your sales conversations, right? These are just some of the practical hacks that I have played with over time that have really helped me maintain good boundaries with my phone. And what does this have to do with selling? When we have good boundaries and when we're feeling energized because we protected our energy and we haven't gotten consumed with our phone, our sales, when we do show up, it's going to be easy. It's going to be life-giving. It's going to be magnetic, right? And that's how we spend less time online, but it converts better, is when we protect our energy, right? So I get that these, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to give you 8 suggestions. And I get that they're going to feel, girl, you are preaching. I mean, it's so important, right? I get that some of these are going to feel limiting, and I get the boundaries. I'm an Enneagram 7. If you guys know your Enneagram, let me know your Enneagram type below. I'm an Enneagram 7, and so the biggest thing that I hate in life is if I feel like someone's taking away my freedom, if I feel like someone is encroaching upon my ability to I need all the options, right? I'm that person that loves a buffet, right? I love getting a little bit of everything. I love a sampler plate. I love a cheese plate, right? I love all the options. And so for me as an Enneagram 7, when I first thought about boundaries, it felt very constricting. And I'm like, I started a business because I wanted my freedom, right? But what I realized is that sometimes boundaries actually can give us freedom, right? Sometimes limiting things increases your creativity. Same thing I found at the start of my business when I niched and narrowed down. Once I actually picked one thing, then instead of my creativity spreading wide, my creativity got so much more effective because I was able to, I knew that I committed to selling one offer for 6 months. For Enneagram 7, that's like basically torture, right? But I committed to that. So suddenly my creativity, instead of thinking of a bunch of new offers to sell, all of my creativity went into how do I come up with more innovative ways to sell this offer, to get visible with this offer, to get more people excited about the same offer, right? So even though it feels counterintuitive, when we make a decision, when we get rooted, when we get grounded, when we get focused, it actually, boundaries can feel so freeing and really, really good. Okay, that was just my little lecture to say boundaries are good. Even though at first it feels like they may be limiting, at the end of the day, they're freeing. I can't tell how many clients I have told to at night delete Instagram or Facebook off their phone. And they're like, is that really going to shift anything? And then they message me the next day and they're like, oh my gosh, that just changed everything for me, right? At first, it feels like, oh, these little boundaries aren't necessary, but I'm telling you, they're such a game changer. So here's some of the examples. Number 1, do I need to talk about my charging dock again? I know I've talked about my charging dock 1,000 times, but I think I need to bring it out one more time. Can we bring it out one more time? Do you guys have a charging dock or a station or a home for your phone at the end of the day or while you're working? Does it have a phone or a home? I have a $17 charging dock off Amazon, and I'm obsessed with it. And I know I talk about it all the time, but I just have to talk about it one more time in case there's one person watching this live stream that still doesn't have a charging station. You really have got to get one. Okay, I don't know if it's going to let me. I think I can do this. Do you guys already have charging stations? Let me know if you have one, or if you don't, go spend the $17 on Amazon. I'm not an affiliate. I just love this thing. Okay, can we talk about this? So, this is going to let me move my little webcam. Does this let me do it? I don't know if I can. Okay. Oi. dropping things. So this, can you guys see this? That's it. That's the charging station. So the concept behind this, right, is when you are not using your phone, when you're going to bed at night, when you're working, when you're with your kids, that your phone and your set, number one, it just makes it really nice because like all the cords are in one place. But it really makes this energetic space for you to say, phone, I don't need you right now. I'm not going to use you right now. And so just having it there is so helpful for me. I also try to have a phone bedtime, right? Where I'm saying, I know it's okay. I am not perfect at this. I definitely slip into bad patterns, but I just want to share with you really what's worked for me, especially if you want to make massive money online. You just have to get a little fierce about your boundaries. And I get that it probably feels like, Anna, some of these boundaries that I'm going to share with you right now might feel a little bit extreme, but I just want to look you in the eyes and I want to say, how serious are you about making $5K a month? How serious are you about making $10K a month? If you're serious, you've got to start doing these things, right? And again, they're not even that hard. So I don't even want to hear it, okay? So phone bedtime, having a charging dock. This is a really big one, okay? Having all notifications turned off on my phone, except for Chipotle. I like to know when I can get free guac. But besides that, having all notifications turned off on my phone, especially social media, right? That way you can go into social media and you can engage and you can make money and you can get visible on your terms and when you're feeling high energy and when you're feeling like you have something to give. Right? And it doesn't feel like social media is happening to you. And so if you don't have all notifications turned off on your phone, you need to do that today. That's not true. I have PayPal and Stripe. So when I get paid, I do get notified on my phone and it's very rewarding. And if you're a heart-centered woman, I suggest you turn those on and I suggest that you start embracing and celebrating money. Money is not a bad thing. Money is a beautiful thing. So really start owning and celebrating that. But if your notifications are not turned off, turn them all off starting today, okay? Next is, let's see, and I'm not going to go through the whole list. I have the whole list in today's training, but I just want to go through a few key ones. I thought that was just my charging. Oh, you have your charging station by your bed, Maria, you should, it's up to you, but you may want to try putting it in your office. Your charging station. That's why I love having mine. Okay, another great one is having a watch. It's a really big example because I don't have one on right now. But if you guys see me in my other live streams, you know that I'm almost always wearing a watch. Why? Because I want to be able to check the time without checking my phone, right? It is really freeing, really empowering. I also hear a lot of women buying alarm clocks. I have small children, so I don't need an alarm clock, but you may. Okay, there's several other in there, but I'll let you guys watch the video on that because I don't just want to repeat myself of what is in the video. But let me know what questions you guys have. Do you have any questions for me? Let's do some live coaching. What questions do you have around money-making actions, life-giving phone actions, phone boundaries? And also I would love for you to share with me, Maria's going to get a watch. It sounds so crazy, but before I really embraced watch wearing, I actually started embrace watch wearing about 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago when my son was born, just with like nursing and everything. But I'm telling you, otherwise I would look at my phone for the time. And then while I'm looking at my phone for the time, I'm like, oh yeah, what's going on the internet? And then like 30 minutes later, right? Also, I think a watch looks super fly. Like I think a watch looks good. And so I can bring to you the two main watches I wear, but I have one that's a more stylish watch that I got because of Maria's beautiful influence, but I have another watch that's just a super simple, again, Amazon, $10 Timex watch, that I wear almost all the time because my kids are crazy and messy and are always getting stuff on me. But it is just super helpful to be able to see what the time is without having my phone with me. And it sounds crazy, but when I go to like drop my kids off at school, a lot of times I won't even bring my phone with me because like I have my watch. And so if you don't have a watch, I really would challenge you to go buy a $10 watch. I'll post a link in the comments to the one I have on Amazon that I love. Again, it's under $15 and it's super timeless. Maria's going to look at it and be like, don't wear it, just basic. It's a basic black watch. Now I have my dressy gold watch that I wear too. But it is really, really, it is really a game changer. Again, I'm just here to share all the hacks that work. Okay. Okay. Let me know if from any of these, especially let's start with the energy giving boundaries, because I know this is hard and it can feel limiting. But I want you to tell yourself this is the key to making more money with more heart and more ease, right? Doing some of these hard decisions, like choosing at night to delete social media off my phone, right? Or wearing a watch or whatever it is for you. What's one thing that you can commit to that's an energy giving boundary for you? Maybe it's putting your phone to bed at 9 p.m. every night, right? Putting it there. I especially love putting my phone, not on timeout, but to bed when, I'm working. Like if I have a work chunk to get done, I do not have my phone with me. And people ask me all the time, like, Anna, how do you stay motivated or disciplined? I'm not always that motivated or disciplined, but when I have, like, I just make it easy for myself to succeed, right? If my kids are around and I don't want to be scrolling Instagram while my kids are around, I literally delete the app off my phone. Right? And so I think we need to stop relying on our willpower and just start having good boundaries. And here's the magical thing, and maybe this is going too deep, but I'm going to say it anyway, okay? When you start having better boundaries with yourself, better discipline, when you start keeping the promises to yourself, boundaries with other people become a lot easier. If you feel like, I'm going to go here, okay? If you feel like there are people in your life that are not respecting, maybe it's clients, maybe it's family members that are not respecting your boundaries or your space or being respectful, I want you to first look at how are you doing it respecting your own boundaries? How are you doing it respecting yourself and keeping the promises to yourself? Because I promise you, once you start doing that with power, number one, people are going to start respecting you in general. But number two, the boundaries you set with others will be easier, right? Because you can say, hey, if I have to honor this commitment to myself, you have to honor it too, right? Hi, sweet Kelly. Okay, EMFs. I don't know what EMFs are. Kelly, tell me what EMFs are unhealthy. So taking a break from your phone is better for your health. Is that like radio waves? I believe it. Okay, Maria says, it's so funny because I keep telling my husband I'm so tired of being on my phone, right? So Maria, let me know which of these feels aligned for you. And again, I know that I gave you, especially if you listen to today's video training, I gave you 8 practical tips around this because I'm kind of passionate about it. But I just want you guys to pick one because I developed these habits over 4 years. It takes time, right? So I just want you to let me know one thing that you're going to commit to when it comes to your energy giving phone boundaries. And then we'll go back and recap the other ones. Okay. This is so good for me, Maria says. The boundaries, keeping my phone on the charging station, enjoying things on my phone. This is going to help me with the overwhelm. It's so true, right? And I think we don't give ourselves permission to enjoy our phone. Our phone becomes this enemy instead of like, actually, have you guys discovered there's some really cool and magical apps on the phone? I speak a lot of Spanish because I grew up so close to Mexico, about 8 minutes from the Mexican border. And so one thing I really want to instill in my kids is how to speak Spanish. And so we speak Spanish a lot, but when I don't know words, you guys, I literally, like sometimes my son will ask me like, Anna, Mom, how do you say this in Spanish? And I'll be like, I don't know how to say that in Spanish. She'll be like, oh, just ask your phone. And it's true. You can ask Siri and she translates into Spanish. And it's like, how cool, you guys, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we did not have a tool that could literally translate for us and help us learn languages, right? I think it's so powerful. And so I think sometimes we become so overwhelmed with our phone that we forget all the cool, beautiful gift things. Like we were talking about leaving a friend a voice memo and encouraging them. I just did a 3-way FaceTime with 2 of my good girlfriends. And I was like, how cool. Like the high school version of me would have gone crazy if I would have believed that like we can do FaceTime with 2 other of our girlfriends at the same time. How fun is that, right? It really is a beautiful gift and blessing. And I promise you, if you manage your boundaries and if you, when you are on social media, if you're taking your money-making phone actions, then on your time off, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I can call up grandma so-and-so on FaceTime. We're going to have energy for those beautiful, beautiful things on our phone, right? There is so much beauty there. Okay, let's see. Yes, Kelly says electromagnetic field. I know I haven't even looked into all that. It's just so interesting, right? Okay, so What I want you to do is make sure you tell me. You can do it in the Facebook Live, or you can do a new post in the group. If you post in the group, make sure you tag it Sell with Your Sell, so that number one, I can read it. Number two, every time you post in the group, you're entered to win a one-on-one session with me for your business, so we can dive in and I can help you around whatever sales block there is for you. Maybe it's something particular around your offer, right? Or your money mindset. I really want to help you one-on-one. So make sure that you post in the group every day. Make sure you post your money-making phone action or money-making phone actions, your life-giving phone actions, and then your energy-giving boundaries. Those three areas are so essential. And don't feel like it has to be perfect, because these change over time. I really recommend you update these about every 90 days just so that you're clear on it for yourself, right? And if you get stuck anywhere, just let me know. Just let me know if you guys get stuck anywhere. And again, make sure you tune in tomorrow, where I'm helping you write a sales social post. I'm helping you craft and create your timeline story. And then Thursday, you're going to go live. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be epic. And I hope that some of you actually make some sales this week in your business. But you're only going to do that if you pace with me and you do this, right? I put it in a very strategic order. So just trust me. Do you trust me? Can you trust me in this process? Can you trust each other? This is a safe space. Jamie says, and feel free before I head out. I'm leaving in a few minutes, but if you have any questions for me, drop them. Sales in general, this challenge, I'm all yours, my loves. I do so much on my phone. Deleting apps would be great if I was able to work on my computer more often. I need to make a list of what I have before I delete. Yes, totally. Do whatever you need to. And I think that's what Amanda was saying too, like being able to do a little bit of housekeeping first before you delete. But I promise you, again, if you didn't do day one, the declutter, do that declutter. It feels so good. No problem. Yes. And if you caught the replay, feel free to post any questions for me and I'm happy to pop back in and answer them. But thank you, my loves, for hanging out. Again, tomorrow, if you didn't, you should be getting the challenge emails by now, but if you're not getting them, just let me know and we'll get you set up. Especially make sure, because on Thursday, I am opening a special offer for my January round of Sell with Heart. So Sell with Heart is a 6-month mentorship program I lead to help you sell in your business. And I'm so excited. And there's only 10 spaces open. And so I'm going to drop the details and also a bonus. I'm doing a bonus if you sign up for the January round of Sell with Heart. I don't know about you, but I'm taking a little bit of a rest over the holidays and I want you to do that too. But I want you to be able to be strategically visible for the rest of the year before you go off selling strong in January. So the bonus is going to be an intensive with me. That way you feel good about your visibility plan leading up to that. Because as I like to say, January sales are made right now in the winter, right? Your visibility right now needs to be strategic, needs to be streamlined so that in January you can really show up and sell out whatever it is that you want to sell out, whatever it is that's on your heart. I will drop the link to the Sell with Heart waitlist too if you want to see the PDF to that early. But I'll be sending more details to challenge members on Thursday. So make sure you sign up for that. Carla says, I love this so much. I didn't think I'd want to do the challenge because I don't like being on my phone so much. But now I see that I need to learn to love it. Yes, I can do that if I have better boundaries and realize this life-giving parts of that. Oh, Carla, I love that you said that because I feel like so many people can resonate with that. And that is, I think that we start to demonize our phone. This is exactly what we do with sales too, right? We have a bad experience with sales. Either we try a sales tactic that someone told us to do and it felt off and we did it and it felt gross. And so we just shrink back from selling, or someone tries to sell to us and it feels off. And so we say, oh, sales is the enemy. Right? Same thing with our phone, right? We don't have the best phone habits, right? And so then we're like, oh, cell phones are the enemy. They're not the enemy. It's just a tool, right? We just need to have better habits around it. And I really feel like doing these three things, money-making actions, life-giving actions, energetic boundaries, are a game changer. And starting to, maybe this sounds extreme, but in starting to enjoy your phone and in starting to enjoy your life and business again. I want to make you fall in love with sales, but I also want to make you fall back in love with your business, especially if you've been in business for a while, right? I find this is especially true for women as they've been selling, as they have some clients, but they're not all the way fully booked. we get kind of antsy and we get burnt out and we just like want to throw away the baby with the bathwater, or we want to like burn down our business and like start a new one. Like, has anyone ever wanted to do that before? When really that's not the answer, right? The answer is really leaning more into sales and making them feel even better, repeating the things that are working in our business, all of that beautiful thing. So anyway, thank you, loves, for hanging out with me today. I've so loved being in the challenge with you. And feel free, if you do any of the work from the challenge again, post in the group, tag it Sell with Your Sell. And also, if you get stuck on anything, don't feel bad, right? There's probably someone else that's stuck in that area, but do a new post in the group, tag it Sell with Your Sell so I can find it, and ask me a question. Tell me what you're feeling stuck around, and I'm going to answer it for you, especially with tomorrow's challenge assignment, which is a little more challenging, your timeline story. If you get stuck on any of that, you just let me know and I'm going to be there to help you, right? Really take advantage of me. I'm really showing up in the group this week as if you guys were paying clients, right? I'm really showing up for you at that level. So take advantage of that. Ask all the questions, do all the assignments, and really milk it and get all that you can out of it, right? I would love to help you, but I can only help you if you tell me where you're feeling stuck. Okay. I will see you tomorrow at noon PST. It's going to be a good Facebook Live on how to brag and tell your story, even if you feel like your story is still in progress or it's not finished yet, or you feel like I don't have a story that's worthy of sharing, right? We're going to be talking about that tomorrow on the Facebook Live, and I can't wait to see you there. Okay, my loves, have a good Tuesday.